Hi everyone, it's JoJo. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how to fussy cut. I've had a lot of people ask me, so I thought I would show you what tools that I use. Not necessarily saying this is what you have to use. It's just what I prefer and what I use. I have a paper punch that I normally use. Two different kinds. This one's a circle punch, and this one is what I call a hole punch. And then I just use my cheap scissors. I have a couple cheap pair, and I have my little small fussy cutting scissors too. Now I have bought all of the Tim Holtz scissors. I have another pair, but they're in the other room. Now these are a very sharp point, and they are for precise cutting. However, personally, I don't like them so well. So it's just your preference. This is this pair. Again, they have this sharp point, which is nice. The scissors are set up nice, but I don't like the way they cut. I would prefer my cheap little dollar store scissors. These are about my favorite scissors, and I just got them at the Dollar Tree. So the first thing I normally do is just kind of cut around all of my pieces. I enjoy fussy cutting for the most part. And just, cut them off the one strip. So these are my pieces. Now on the circles, I normally cut up close to the circle, and then I'll put my circle punch under it. I have several punches. This isn't going to fit perfect, but I get it as close as I feel is good enough for me. There's my little circle. See, I didn't leave that much behind on that one. So I'll do the same thing here. Just line it up. And there's two pieces cut already. And then when my paper punch, when I get pieces like this that I've already cut and they're like tickets, then I just line my paper punch under here the best that I can, and I just punch. And I do that on all four sides. It's hard to see under my camera thing here. But I do it on all four sides, and I do have a little piece of white left over. Let's see if the camera's not going to focus it in real good. But there is a little piece of white right there. So either I can use my ink, and right now I'm just using shoe polish for my ink. But if you just use a little bit of it when you're doing your edges, it will cover that up. If I don't feel that that is good enough, it just depends on what mood I'm in for the day, I guess. I will just clip it off with my little scissors. And there you have it. There's a little piece right there of white. But there you have it. Now on these smaller ones, it's going to be kind of hard for me to see really good, but You can either cut all the way up and around by every little bit. I like to just leave just like maybe an eighth of an inch around it. And then whenever I cut, I let the paper kind of guide, instead of guiding the scissors and turning the scissors every which way. And whenever I get like to this toe point, if I'm not careful, I will leave a point there, and I don't want a point. So I lay it on the edge of my scissors, and I just kind of turn the paper. So it gives me a little rounded edge instead of a point. So I just let the paper decide, kind of guide where it's going. Of course, I have to open and close the mouth of the scissors, but it's the paper that I twist and turn instead of twisting and turning the scissors. I've been fussy cutting for years. I used to do miniatures, so this bigger stuff is really nothing compared, not near as hard as some of the little printies that I used to cut. I had about everything you can imagine for my dollhouses. But back in that time period, like late 99s to 2000s, there was hardly nothing unless you made it yourself for miniatures. And now I go on and I think, wow, because you can get just about anything now for a dollhouse. Sometimes it makes me want to go back. I miss doing all the little stuff and the dolls, but I don't know if my eyes would let me. See how I'm just kind of turning the paper? It's the paper that I'm turning and not trying to turn the scissors. I rest my my forehand right here on my table when I'm doing this. And then, of course, I have my thumb and my finger in here, and sometimes I hold it. Just depends on what's comfortable. But when I get this set up to where I want it, I make sure to leave my hand here. This part of my hand is still, and I'm not moving it. I'm just moving the paper and my thumb. With the scissors, it's my thumb that does the work. Doesn't help my carpal tunnel, but if you have like carpal tunnel in your thumb, and I know that sounds weird probably to some of you, but I have carpal tunnel through here, and it goes down into my wrist. But if you have that, this helps by leaving your hand with something else. It helps me a lot, so that way I'm not moving my whole hand. It's just that part of my thumb. And sometimes when I wear my brace, it'll hold my thumb in place too, so I can still fussy cut. But see how nice she looks? And then when I go over the outside of her, if I decide to, with ink, it'll cover up what little bit of white that I left. She almost looks like she's been cut with a, like one of those paper cutter things, a silhouette or a cricket or something in that line. And then when I do these, I don't like doing rounded parts, but I do them the same way. I mean, I get up to it where I want to be. On these, sometimes I go right up to the edge. But I let the paper guide again. And I do add pressure to my scissors as I'm doing this. And of course, these are not perfect, but they're good enough for me. And normally I would hold this closer to my body so I could see it better. My old eyes are getting old. They're just about worn out. There we go. So it's almost perfect. I enjoy fussy cutting. Let's see. This one here is another one that sometimes people think is tough. And if I sit and think about this piece will intimidate me to the point that, I'm thinking, I don't know if I really want to cut that or not. Maybe I'll just throw it in a corner and not use it. But I get over that real quick when I start cutting. Sometimes it's easier to go through and cut some of that excess off. Just get rid of it, get it out of your way. The less that you have, the less intimidating the paper looks. So there's a lot of the scraps out of my way. So now I have this. So I can just go back in. Now I could use my big scissors with this, but the little scissors, I just like the way that they cut better. And again, it's the same principle. I just let the paper do the walking. And you can cut as close or as far away as you'd like on it. Since these two are basically almost the same size, I'll go ahead and show you. I don't like the way my thumb rests in this. Now these are soft. They will bend this way, but they're not so strong as to bend that way. I don't know why I like this shape better. My thumb just fits in there. This one here gives you plenty of room, but it's almost like there's just too much room for my thumb. And like I said, I do have, I can't think of what they call it, but it is like carpal tunnel. The tendons in here don't move freely like they're supposed to. But it's just a little bit tougher, for me to stay in camera. Just don't feel as normal. They do cut good. I don't like the way they cut, personally. But they do the trick. Just a second. I'm back. Sorry about that. Keep cutting this. Like I said, these scissors do work, but they're not my favorite. I'm going to go back to these. These cut smoother. The Tim Holtz scissors have like a serrated edge that's supposed to help pull the paper through. And I really don't like the paper being pulled like it does and the handles. So that's just me and my own preference. So I'm not giving a bad review on them. I'm just saying that they're not my favorite. But yeah, I enjoy fussy cutting. Especially of an evening when I'm sitting and I don't have a lot to do, or if I go through a mood of depression. I don't know why, but sometimes fussy cutting really helps me bring me out of it. And sometimes I go through, I have this great idea of something I want to do, something I want to make, so I get started. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, where do I go from here? So when I have those moments, I just grab me some little fussy cut stuff and set and fussy cut. Normally it helps me figure everything out. Point there. See how nice that comes out? And then, like I said, whenever I do my edges, you won't even see them. See if I can. I haven't used this for a while, so the sponge on it has kind of dried a little bit. I should have kept it upside down so it would keep the sponge moist. I'm sorry about my voice. Been having a lot of allergies and sinus issues, so my voice comes and goes with it. That time of year. Yeah, see how nice that turns out. And then with me, I get so much of these going with the fussy cuts that I print things a lot tinier and smaller. So it just, it's all the same concept. It's just smaller. And then this is not normally how I hold this, so that's why it seems maybe a little awkward. Not coming out as smooth, but I normally hold it a lot closer to me so I can see it better. I have on my grandma eyes, but they don't always work the way I'd like them to. Come back in here, and I'm going to do like a little V shape. I'm not used to talking and fussy cutting at the same time. But whenever you get started, I mean, if you're like me, Doesn't take any time at all. It just seems like it's pretty quick. It goes quick. My part about fussy cutting is just kind of the intimidation of before I start. But then once I get a few pieces and they turn out as well as this one has, you know, I may want to go back. Just barely get that little corner there. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Fussy cutting is so easy. So if you have any questions, please comment below. This kit, I will leave all the information for it. It's by Tookscrafttable. I will leave you the codes below so you can get 15% discount if you buy a kit, or if you buy 10 kits or more. I have a code so you can get 20% discount. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to be kind to one another. Bye-bye.